Hi and welcome to the Uniform webinar, where we're going to take a look at basic data entry and also how you can import new bulls into your Uniform program. So Philippa's going to take you through the data entry side. It's going to be about 15 minutes long, and by the end of it, we hope that you're going to be confident to know your way around the data entry screen. We'll show you some shortcuts that you can use, and we'll also show you how you can correct any mistakes that you make. There will be a very short questionnaire at the end. There's only 2 questions. If you could fill that out, we'd really appreciate it. And you'll also receive a recording in case anybody else on the farm is interested. So if we go to the Uniform program first, if you have any questions, I think in terms of time, probably the best way of doing it is if you could just type the questions in, then we'll come back to you over the next 24 hours and hopefully log onto your PC and help. So this is basic data entry. Whereabouts do we go to? Let's go and show them the first screen, and we're going to enter 2 cows that are bulling.
Okay, so you want to click on the cow's head at the side and then go into daily tasks and then into daily events.
So the first cow is 3535.
So if we type in 3535 and if you press enter on your keyboard, it will move the box along to the action section, but you can also see a little bit more information about the cow at the bottom of the screen, so we can see when she last calved, and then you'd also see if there's any calving issues or anything else listed down here as well. So for this animal, we're going to put in heat. So you've got the little box at the side here, so you can press that, and then that will give you your list of different options you can enter in for this animal. So we're going to select in heat, and then we can pop the date in. So you can either type the date in, or you can use the minus and plus keys on your keyboard and move the date backwards and forwards, or you can use the little drop down and it gives you a little calendar and you can select a date from there. So if we press enter again, and then it gives us the option if we want to enter in a comment. If not, just press enter, and then you get a green tick at the end. So that just lets you know that that data has all been saved into the database, so you haven't got to click save or anything before you close the screen down.
Okay, 3536, she was bullying on the same date.
Okay, so 3536. So we put the number in, and then when we press enter, it takes us to the action box again. But what we can do here, because the information is exactly the same, we can press the letter R on our keyboard, and what that does is it repeats the information from the line above. So you can use this on heats, services and PDs, but for everything else you need to enter in, so you can't use it for carvings and things like that, so that all needs to be entered in individually.
Okay, the next one is we're going to inseminate 3519.
3519. So again, we can press enter, and then instead of going into that little drop down box where we went into for the in-heats, if you just press S on your keyboard, that will select the serving option, and then again we can go through the date or select a little calendar. Press enter again, and it gives us the option to enter in the insemination type. So it's defaulted to DIY AI, but you can go into the little box in there and change that if you wanted to put in something different. So we press enter again, so then this gives us our list of bulls that we've got, so we can select from here. We will take you through later how to add in new bulls, but for this one we'll just use what we've got in the system, and then it lets you put in if it's gender sorted or not, quantity, and then again you can put a comment in if you'd like, and then you get a green tick again at the end.
Okay, so we can see how we can enter these individual actions in. So what we'd cover next, I guess, would be PDs and dry off, which we tend to do as a batch entry.
Yeah, so those ones we tend to do more as a group entry. So you've got the option up here for batch entry. So if we click on that one, and then if we go down to declare pregnant, so this one you can use for put your PDs in, put your negatives in. You can also use this to putting in barons as well. So it's not just for your PD positive. So we can select which animals we want to look at. So we're just going to look at our calved animals, go to next, then it gives us a list of all the animals that are due for a PD. We can see their status and how many days inseminated they are. So we can go through and select the cows we want. Go to next. Then here we can select which date they were PD'd and then what the outcome was. So here's your list of all your different options. So these cows were all positive. Again, you can put a comment in, and then when we click finish, it'll enter those PDs in. Then it'll also give us the option if we want to put in some new PDs. So we can do a batch of our positives, and then we can go back and do a batch of our negatives. So we can select our cows that were PD negative, and then we can change that to negative, next. And then it gives you the option if you want to then do a follow-up with that PD negative. So if you wanted to add cows onto a sync program, but again, that will be covered in a different webinar, or we can just select none and click finish, and then that will put the PD negatives in, and then it will give you the option to do some more, but you can just select no to that if you're finished, and then all that's entered in for you.
Okay, great. So that's the PDs taken care of. Drying off.
Yep, so again, back up to batch entry and then into dry off. And then in here, so again, it gives us our list of cows that are due to be dried off. So we can select which animals we want to do. Go to next. Pop our date in of when they were dried off. Go to next again. Selects our treatment for dry cow therapy. You also get the option if you would like to put in who did the drying off. And then if we go to next. So here we've already got a drying off treatment plan set up. If that is something you would like to do, then do give the help desk a call and we can set that up for you. It just helps sort of speed up your data entry. So then if we go to next, we can see here, this is the dry cow plan we've got. So we can see what treatments, what medicines and the amounts they're using. And then if we go to finish, just lets you know if there's any withdrawals, and then it'll go through and we can see 3 drafts inserted in the 6 treatments that were done as well.
So particularly with drying off, if you're doing more than 2 events or maybe 3 events, maybe a bonus or something like that, the treatment plan can really speed up the data entry.
It just saves you having to enter everything in multiple times.
But it's probably best if you call the help desk on that, and then we can set it up as a customized version for you guys. Okay, so carving. How do we enter a carving? 3537.
Okay, so that's back onto our original dairy daily event screen. So what was the
3537?
So 3537. Again, press enter. Again, at the bottom here, we can see a little bit more information about her. So we can see her previous services and PD dates.
And you'll see there, because it says status dry, if we hit the enter key, it'll come up automatically and take the next logical event.
Yeah. So you can pop in our carving, and then it'll ask for number of calves and ask you for your calving ease, so you can put in if there was any issues or if there was no problems. Again, you can pop a comment in, and then when we press enter, what it does, it will then drop down to put in the calf's information. So it will ask you for, is it a male or female calf? Is the animal in herd? Here it will pick up the breed from the dam and sire information, but you do have the option here if you'd like to change it, you can. And then here we can pop in our ear tag. Press enter. Then it will give the animal number, or you can change that number to something else.
So 4004.
And then you can get the option to pop a name in, hair color, and then again you can add a comment. So then once you press enter and you get a green tick on that calf line, that calf's then added into the database, and then it's also put onto your list to send to CTS if you use that. You do that through the program as well.
Okay, so selling a cow.
Yes. Okay, so there's a couple of options you can do. So you can either do, if you're selling a cow individually, you can enter that in through this screen, or if you've got a group of cows to do, we can go up to batch entry and then into purchase and sale. And then in here, so we then need to pick up, so it's going to be a sale, it's a new sale. We can select which animals we want to do and then what status of those animals. So we're going to sell a cow, go to next. And then here obviously gives you the list of everything that's related to the previous selections. We can select the animal we want to sell, go to next, and then it'll ask you the date of the sale, why she was being sold. So in here, this will give you some reasons. If you haven't got as many reasons on here, you can add them in by going to the little plus key down here, and then you can add in a different reason.
If you want to change what's there and just customize it, then you can hit the edit, which is a triangle button.
We can pop in that. We can then put in where the cow went, and then you've got the option to put in any income and a comment if you'd like to. And then when we click finish, then that sale has been entered in. Again, that animal will then be moved on the movements to CTS to send. The animal will also then be moved into a historical file within the program. So if you do need to find her details again, we can do. So
what would happen then if you start putting something in, and let's say you put in a cow number, but then you realize it's the wrong cow number? So if we just pop in 3519.
So if we pop in, so you get to this point and yeah, you realize it's the wrong cow. You can't then click off it or get rid of it. So best thing to do there, if you press escape on your keyboard, it will then take you back to that beginning box, and then you can start again and type in the right cow.
Super. And what happens then if let's say that we've finished it, so the data entry's been done, but we then want to go and correct the data?
Okay. So you've got a couple of options for that. If you're still on the screen here where we've got information, and we notice that actually this one is actually entered in on the wrong date, you can highlight it and then right click and do delete line, and then that will delete that out. Or if you've closed down this screen, if you come out of it and you finished it and then later realize that something was wrong, we can then go into the animal record. So if we go back into Cow's Head, daily tasks, animal record, and then if we type in our cow number and press enter, it'll take us to her cow record, and then we can go up to our reproduction tab, and then in here we can then go to edit, and then we can delete it this way, and that gets rid of it. So there's a few options you've got to correct data if something's not quite right.
So if we just go back to the actual tab on the cow record, I know I've seen some people, they're kind of frantically clicking on it, trying to edit it at this screen. But if it's a reproduction event, as yours was, you need to go to the reproduction tab, and at that point you can then edit it. Okay, one last sort of point. Is there a quick way that we can import new bulls into the program?
Yes. So you've got a couple of options. So if you milk record with CIS, you can go to Cow's Head at the side, and then go into links, and then go into CIS web services, and then bull file. So for this, you will need to have your herd prefix and your PIN number in order for this to work. So if you do want to set this up, please give us a call, and then we can get that all done for you and then take you through receiving the data from CIS. If you milk record with NMR, or if you don't milk record at all, you can use the second option. So for that, you want to go to Cow's Head, and then into your service bulls, bull record. And then if we go down to new, and then in here, we've got this button here, this NMR Bull Search. So if we click on that, and then here you've got a couple of options. So you can see the search for is set for name, but if you have an AI code and you don't have the name, you can click on the heading for AI code, and it'll change the search for, and then you can type that in the box. But for this one, we're going to do for name. So we're going to look for a bull called Rocky. And then what it'll do is it will search the database, and it will look for all the bulls that have Rocky in the name. So we want to find, so if we find, let's say we go Hillstone Rocky, so we've got him there. And then if we highlight him and click OK, it will pop his information into the bull record. One thing to bear in mind, if you are wanting your bull names on the calf passports, you just need to remember to copy the name into the ear tag box, and then when you click OK, then any future calves from this bull, his name will always appear on the passport.
Okay, super. So that's a way we can really speed it up and also maintain the accuracy, which is good. This session today has been really a kind of a basic one, really. We do also have the Uniform e-Learning Academy, which will, if you're a new user or maybe you've got a new member of staff, if you call us, we can show you how they can access it, and they're able to step through, for example, how to put in a PD, how to dry cows off. That's the little icon on the bottom left-hand side, the e-Learning Academy. So if you're interested in that, or maybe you're an experienced user that wants a refresher on setting up treatment plans or vaccination plans or action schedulers, that is something that we can, we'll very happily show you, because we put quite a lot of effort into that. So hopefully you found that useful. Those of you that have asked questions, we will give you a call back. You want to go through any of those now?
Yeah, I think we can quickly go through a couple of them. So we've got one here. So if you enter a PD of cow and calf with twins, so if you've got a cow and calf with twins, that one you would need to do individually. You can't do that in batch entry. So that one you would need to, we go back to our daily events. So you'd need to pop in, let me just find a pregnant cow. Use her. So for that one, so you'd have to just do it through here. So we can put in cow 441, we can pop in that she's pregnant, and then we can put in her status of positive. And then when you get to the comment, you can then add in that she is pregnant with twins. We've also got an option that you can add in a cow colour for cows with twins. So if you want to do that, best to give the help desk a call, and then we can help set that up with you.
That I mean, that's one people use a lot, because it would then show on your action list, for example, cows due to dry off or cows due to calve. You'll be able to see that colour there, and it's really easy to use, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, please give us a call on that, and that's cow colours. Sorry, we're just checking for any other questions.
Okay, so if we were to put in a, so somebody's asked about how to view a historical cow record. So best way of doing that, so if you go into your cow's head, day tasks, and then animal record, if you then go up to the little magnifying glass at the top here, and then once you're in here, there's a tick box down at the bottom that says include historical. So if you make sure that's ticked, and then you can either search on ear tag, or you can search on previous number. So you just need to click the headings if you want to change the search for, and then you can look for historical animal. So if we do previous number and we look for 104, so that brings that animal up. And if we double click on it, you can see it's got that sort of greeny blue color through the top. We can see that her status is sold, but we can also then go through all of her information if we want to look at any details there.
Okay, I see some other sort of specific questions, so if that's okay, we'll give you guys a call back, and we'll go through that individually. Just log on to your program and help you with that. Hopefully you found that useful. If you could just answer the questions, we'd really appreciate it. And yeah, we hope to see you on the next one in 2 weeks' time, where we're going to cover more advanced data entry settings, hopefully to speed up your data. So I hope you found that helpful.